Boaz, we have a question from Avinom Lugassi. He's writing, Boaz, hello. How are you? Thank you for your videos. You're a true champ. Can you please talk about the angle in your flamenco and classical nicks?
You want to know the angle of the classical and flamenco, the angle of the neck. But he wants to know how I achieve it, or what is the angle?
What is the angle? How do you do it? Or
that's not the question he should ask. He should ask, what is the action on the bridge on classic and on flamenco? Because if the neck tilt up, so the string get higher now. So the action between the string and the soundboard at the bridge, that's what determines it on classic guitar, and on flamenco it's lower. But it's lower because the neck angle is different. Yeah?
in flamenco guitars, the bridge
is much more shallow.
Is much more shallow, right?
Yeah.
So the strings are closer to the neck.
No, the strings are closest to the soundboard.
The soundboard and the neck.
No, it can be the same height. They can follow the neck.
I see.
But at the bridge, the height is different.
Okay. So how do you determine the angle of the neck?
So you don't determine the angle of the neck, you determine the height of the string from the top of the string to the top of the soundboard. From the top of the string to the top of the soundboard on string 1. Because normally on bass strings, because of their big loop, you can have the bone a little bit tilt up. But on the high string, the E strings, the loop is smaller, so it's mostly, that's the way to measure it.
What do you mean by loop?
The string movement is bigger.
Or
the bass string.
While you're playing it?
While you're playing.
I see.
So you measure it from first string. And on flamenco you want it low. You want from the top of the strings to the top of the soundboard at the bridge. You want it to have 7 millimeters, 8 or 9.
Why is that?
Because they do rascado. And for the rascado and knocking on the top, the golpe, what we call, they want it low for their technique.
Okay.
And classic musicians, they want it far.
And why? And okay. So how does it all relate to the neck?
Because the angle of the neck, that's what determined what is the height of the strings.
So first you determine the height of the strings at the bridge, and then you determine the.
Okay, let's explain how we get there. This is a flamenco guitar.
Okay.
And we're measuring now the height from the top of the string to the top of the soundboard.
Okay.
Yeah. And the height you want is 7 millimeters, 8 or 9. So if we measure now, we have 8 millimeters exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the height of the strings at the bridge is 8 millimeters, which can be 7, can be 8, and can be 9. So some like it lower, some like it a little bit higher, but in general it's on the low side. But how we get the height here? By the angle of the neck. Imagine this neck going down this way, so the string will go higher. Imagine this neck going up, so the string will go lower on the bridge. That's why the height of the string on the bridge, that's what determined the flamenco guitar or classic guitars. You achieve that by 3 different ways. You can have the tabla, which is, this is the Spanish method. I bring it down. Okay, this is the tabla. And the tabla is where you assemble the different part of the guitar. So I have a tabla for flamenco, and I have a tabla for classic guitar. And you know what, I bring it again. The way we determine it, the different angle of the guitar is by the tabla, which is the Spanish method of making the guitar. we use the tabla for assembling the instrument. So I have a tabla for classic guitar and I have a tabla for flamenco guitar. And what is the difference? The difference is that the tabla for flamenco, I lift. You see, this is the straight part, the original straight part of the block. See? It's going all the way here. But you see those two pieces on top? Okay, you see that they're going up?
Yes.
They add it. Okay, so now when I put the neck, yeah, the neck get an angle, yeah, and this angle determines where the bridge, the height of the string on the bridge. See, because the soundboard is coming right here, then the neck is coming here. Imagine it, but the neck already have a set angle. Basically, the tabla could be much shorter, just this part. But no, it's very important that it's including this part, because by having this part, when I assemble the instrument, the angle is already correct. Now, how you work with the tabla, you make your first guitar, and if the bridge becomes very high, you know that you need to bring, tilt up on the tabla, so your neck angle is different. If your bridge is low, you lower it. If your bridge is high, you higher it.
Okay, so
but once you get it right, your tabla stay forever. Why? If you lift high, if you move here 1 millimeter, let's say I bring it up here 1 millimeter. At the 12th fret, it will be 2 millimeters different. And at the bridge, it will be 4 millimeters different, which is a lot. So if I have to leave my workshop and they will ask me what I'm going to take the flamenco tabla and the classic guitar tabla. Because I know I'm going to assemble on that the guitar and I get the bridge perfectly 7 or 8 as I wish. You got it?
it's like it's your mold.
It's my mold for assembling, yeah. So on a classic guitar,
This is a Boaz mold, or is this like a universal thing?
no, everybody have it, but it's personal because it's depends on many parameters. I have my molds are a little bit radius on the soundboard, yeah, and this one you can see it's totally different. It's much more shallow. See,
Yeah.
and this one is much more higher. And because I want the classic guitar to have 13 millimeters height on
At the bridge.
at the bridge, and on flamenco I want it to be 7 or 8. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly 13, it can be, let's measure it, bring the classic guitar. It's it to be somewhere around that. But one less, one more. $12.75. So it's 13 millimeters. Yeah, for the first strings. Yeah. So this is a classic guitar. The one before it was 8 millimeters and it was a flamenco guitar. But that's how you achieve the neck angle in order to get on the bridge the correct height. Yeah. Now classic players, of course, they prefer that kind of height. Yeah, it's suiting their technique. Yeah. There is two other ways that different makers use. Okay, so this is my way of doing it, and there is two other ways that other makers use, and this is one of them. It's called the board. Yeah?
Board?
The board, yeah.
Okay.
And the board, basically, you place the fingerboard, you place the neck, pass me the soundboard, please, and you put the soundboard. But this board ends up where the bridge is located. Yeah? If I take the soundboard out, this place here is where the bridge located. And you see I have a mark here that says classic 100 and flamenco 50 to 100, which mean which means when I put the fingerboard and I put the neck and I put the soundboard, in order to assemble the guitar, I'm lifting here, right here. I'm lifting it 100. Yeah.
I see, and that's the magic number.
That's the magic number for achieving. Of course, some customers, they don't want 7 millimeters on their flamenco or 8. They want 6.
So it's right here. This is
Right here.
This is the,
Right there, yeah.
I see.
Right
So
where
you-
my finger is.
yeah.
I'm lifting it.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I assemble the guitar and this place locked.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another method that you can get a different angle to your guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And there is one more method that many Spanish makers are using it. And I think it's a result of not being able to calculate. And they're putting a very thick fingerboard. Very thick fingerboard. And then they're shaving the fingerboard to create the desired angle. So what you see when you look, you see a thick fingerboard here and a thin here, or reverse, thin here and thick here, in order to get a different angle, height on the bridge.
I see.
Yeah. So those are the 3 methods that I know, and I think answers questions. But mine is the tabla. I work with the classic tabla and flamenco tabla, and that's of course the easiest way and the best results. But you need to take time till you get your tabla correct. Yeah, and once it's correct, that's it. You don't deal with it anymore. You just do it on that.
And that's like your signature, yeah? It's like you.
That's something. Yeah. If I need to take something, that's what I want to take. Because to replace that, it's an evolution that I don't want to go through. I don't want to make a guitar and get a different angle. And you know, somebody order a flamenco and get it with a classic guitar height. Doesn't work this way. Yeah.
I see. Thank you, Boaz.
Yeah, absolutely.